DR fam, how's everybody doing? Excuse me. Hope everybody had a great Thursday, reversal Thursday, as we say. Let's jump right into DR today. We got our ES on the left, NQ on the right. Looking at the 5-minute charts, we'll start, of course, with our range. So on ES, we had a range today, let's say 45.52 up to 45.68. So really only about a 16-point range, which is right at the bottom of the range we like to see. And then you notice we had a pretty, I'm talking about ES right now, just had a pretty choppy setup. So no bias on that side. Now on the NQ, we had a little bit of a bias and nothing I would count on, but you can see how it comes into play here in a second. All right, so looking at both charts, at 10:30, I go in, I set my alerts on the DR lines on both. All right, which is again kind of that's the baseline of tell me when to pay attention. And so as you can see, or hopefully you can see, that NQ was the leader of the pack today, right, as far as DR confirmation, etc. Okay, so we confirmed low relatively quickly after DR setup on NQ. Notice on ES we didn't, right? It took us a little bit longer. Actually, it took us a lot longer. I shouldn't say a little bit longer. It took us a lot longer. So we'll get back to that one in a second. Let's talk about trades really quick. And so, of course, first trade is on NQ because after we confirm low, we look for the retrace. Had a nice retrace. And you look at the IDR and DR were like right on top of each other. So once we went above IDR, I'll retrace back into IDR. Orders placed on the IDR line or on the DR line, like I said, they're so close together, it's not making that much difference. And you see we have a really nice move down off of that, right? So a relatively easy trade on that one. Now there was it did form like a fair value gap, but that was after it retraced, so I didn't worry about that one too much. Okay, so a really nice trade here. So definitely +1 for NQ. And I at least this week, I'm really liking the movement on NQ. ES has been a bit more stubborn, but NQ moves, and it moves very, very fast, right? Which I do like. So you kind of know right away whether you're going to be in the trade, out of the trade, or you got to hang on for dear life. All right. But anyway, so notice something now. We had a daily sell side that we took out. All right. So, which normally, like I said, we can get rid of that, but normally that means that price is going to want to move back up. But it took a while, but we'll talk about that one as well. It took a while. Like toward the end of the day is when it really started moving back up. I thought we'd come down and get to this weekly down here, but we didn't. So we still, let me not say that. I don't know. Let me. Yeah, that's right. I didn't think we got down there. Okay, yeah, we didn't get down there. So that's my next kind of, depending on what price does today or tonight and into tomorrow, that's my next kind of target on the downside. So I can actually get rid of this sell side. We've cleaned that one out. Okay. All right. So first trade again on NQ. Boom. Take that. And that was definitely an easy. I didn't count the points, but I think I had I know I had at least 20 points on that one. Yeah, I gotta get my math right on NQ, guys. So $20 a point times, I end up with about 450 on that one, 430, 450. So however many points that is, right? So good trade overall. Like I said, not something I wasn't too worried about that one. So that was the first one. The second one now, actually I went back, so back over on ES because ES finally confirmed low. Right, we had a fake confirmation here where it tried to, but it didn't get below. It didn't close below DR, so it didn't count that one. Now, could I have? Sure. And how would I have traded that? Well, I probably would have waited and let it go back like it went up to IDR. There's now a gray line here, and then it came back down. So yeah, it's a possibility for a trade there. But again, you're pushing the boundaries of what I consider a pure DR trade if you're doing it that way. Okay, but here we get a nice confirmation low right here, and once we do that, all right, we confirm low, come down a little bit more, we go back up. Now here's another interesting point. We got back up to IDR. We didn't go above it to come back down. So when I had an order here, but my order was actually still on the DR low line, right? Because we didn't really go above the IDR. So I didn't move. Didn't even have a chance to move my trade because as soon as we went up there, it came right back down. Okay, so I got in, got picked up here, and if you notice, this is like 11:55, and I do not like a 12 o'clock trade or being in a trade at 12 o'clock. I will definitely take a trade after 12 o'clock because that lunchtime macro, whatever you want to call it, that's running, may not even be a macro. I'm saying whatever happens, price tends to either reverse or just, it dies or goes back up, really quickly right around 12. So I don't like being in a trade at 12. So I went ahead and just took a couple of points off of this move here, right? So now, could I have held that? Sure, I could have held it for it to come down. My stop loss would have been, that's 45.53. So my stop loss would have been probably around here 45.50, 58. And it wouldn't have gotten there. So I could have gotten this. I would have watched it get me some heat and then come back down. So I could have done that, but I just took the points because again, I do not like being in the trade at 12. Okay, now. I did go to lunch today, so I did not take this trade, but what you want you to notice is right here, right? So we come down out of the trade, price comes back up, goes above the IDR, and then, so that's another very lucrative trade there if you're in that trade, okay? So that takes you from let's say 45, 40, 45, 47, 45, 55 down to 47. So that's 8 points if you want to take that trade. And look where it stops at, right? This other part we talk about, right? So I have a sell side, a daily sell side here, and that's where it stops and reverses, okay? So as you use these things in confluence or with each other, you can really start to not predict, and I'm saying you can never say you're going to predict what the market's going to do, but you can start to have some really strong hunches about where price is going to go, okay? All right, so that was I think that was the only ES trade I took today. I didn't want again. I saw that, and there were some other opportunities you could have taken, but I just ES was moving, really choppy today. A lot of consolidation in that, in that whole like 12 to 2 range, and I really just wasn't that excited about it. But again, there were other trades that you could have taken, right? That would have been you could have gotten definitely gotten your 5 points off of that one. Even here, there's opportunity there. You could have taken that one. Okay, so really it's just based on like how you want to do that. Now, one thing I will say, if you look, and I'll stick to ES for a second. Again, did not trade this, but I want you to see it. Real opportunity here once price goes up here, because now it goes above the zero point 0.5 fib with a nice move down. Now, how would you have gotten there, right? That's the challenge, right? Because you could have actually put an order, so you could have gotten back to DR and put an order in, but you would have in order for it to come down, but you probably would have gotten stopped out somewhere in here, okay? Because price didn't come down, it started going back up. So that's one of those kind of risk things, like how much risk are you willing to take? So again, that's one that probably would have failed you, or would have failed you. No, probably about it. It would have failed. Would have failed the DR model, and then kind of same thing here on IDR. You probably would have failed that one also, because even though price started to come down this red candle, it went unless you just scalped it and got out here for like 3 points maybe on that wick. Okay. Otherwise, I think you would have definitely gotten stopped out there if you weren't scalping. But then you come here, and now you have that's kind of where the payoff is, right? So you can probably you could have make up your losses back on that one move, just putting a order here on DR. On 0.5 fib, and then taking that down. Okay, so let's see. Yeah. All right, and so then I guess at 3 o'clock, and then like one thing there was some other things over here could have gotten you in trouble if you were doing that. Again, after 3 o'clock, I'm really normally very cautious about taking trades after 3 o'clock because, you got contracts being closed, you got things happening that really can really skew what could have been would have been a really nice day. All right, so really just a really small, only again 2 points for me. Okay, there were more points out there, like we just showed, but for me, I only took 2 points off of ES, and I really didn't trade the middle of the day today. I actually end up coming back, really come back to the market. Again, I'll show you here. There's really nothing happened on NQ right after this first trade. Okay, nothing really happened, which actually, if you're doing this from strictly a DR standpoint, is actually a good thing, right? Because you're not like on ES. You had like opportunities to jump into trades that would have gotten you stopped out. Okay, on NQ from a DR standpoint, there weren't any of those opportunities. Okay, the next opportunity, as you look at this, right? So, opportunity one is here. The next opportunity, the second one I took for today, was right before 3 o'clock. Price comes back up above DR, above that very overlapping IDR line, and then it just comes back down again. So another relatively pain-free trade right there. Now there were a lot of fair value gaps and things that were kind of playing around it, during the day that, kind of could have put you in a perspective of, do you take the trade? It was, so you'd have like it'd be above DR, it'd be above IDR, price would be above IDR, but then, you had a bullish fair value gap right below it, right? So do you take that chance? And most of the time I'm not going to do that. I'll let it play itself out first. Either get through the fair value gaps or, come back and show me that setup again, then I'll take it the second time. But for the most part, there's plenty of opportunities that aren't, convoluted like that. So I'd rather just wait. Okay. So like I said, two just solid trades today on NQ. One, that not so solid, but I could have held it if I really wanted to, and let it play out. But I decided just to take the profit and go get a sandwich. All right. So anyway, that's it, guys. Like I said, I am enjoying. I didn't think I would, but I actually am enjoying having both charts kind of side by side, because again, it shows me. I follow the same pattern, right? I go in once DR sets up at 10:30. I go in and I put in my put my alerts on, right, on both charts, and then I just let it alert me when it's time, right? And so being able to watch today how quickly NQ confirmed and retraced and did its thing versus how long it would have taken it, how long it took for ES to do that, was just interesting, right? Not saying it's going to happen every day, but I'd say 2 out of the 3 days this week, NQ has 2 out of the 4 days. Yeah, 2 out of the 4 days. So maybe it's 3 out of 4 days. I don't know. I mean, I don't think I looked at NQ on Monday, but the days I've looked at NQ, I know since Tuesday, and then Wednesday, Thursday, definitely have 2 out of 3 have been NQ. NQ has been the better chart to kind of work with. So, not saying that's always going to be the case. I know it won't be, but for right now, to me that's a better move. All right. Anyway, guys, you know, again, appreciate everybody's support, all the comments I'm getting, all the DMs I get from folks. If you have questions, just drop them in the comments. And I'm starting to see some progress from some folks that have been kind of watching and taking notes and trying it out. And so I'm really happy to see that. Again, I will, never charge anybody a dime on my things to try to learn this stuff. I mean, I didn't pay anybody to learn it, so I don't think anybody should have to pay me to learn it, and it's not my strategy. I've just, taken it and just kind of adopted it. So, if you see anything, and somebody had said that they saw something that someone was asking for, they were asking for some sort of like money from one of those for the Discord group, and that's just not me. All right, so that I promise you, if I ever do that, I will tell you up front, and I'll tell you why I'm doing it, but that's never my intention. So don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Again, you will never, not online anyway, not anytime soon. So let me never say never, but not anytime soon. All right, or that is definitely not my intention. So anyway, that's it, guys. Everybody have a great night, and what we always say: love on your loved ones, because you never know when you won't be able to do it again. So take advantage of each and every opportunity. I appreciate you guys, and I will talk to you later.